Jeffrey Marsh, you blurred my face. As if my face is the kind of face that should ever be blurred, first of all.
This happens to be a trans person who makes her living coming after other trans people, including myself.
You're not trans. I'll say it again. And do I make a living bashing trans people, or do I make a living calling out bad behavior, including yours? Calling out abusive behavior, predatory behavior, including yours?
So a real-life conversation needs to be had between the girls. A conversation that promotes healing and positivity. A conversation that also throws a little bit of shade, but it's the truth. We need to talk about the dangers of passing as a trans woman, as a trans man, and or just simply as trans. And I know what a lot of you are going to say. How is it dangerous to pass simply living as trans? I'll tell you. Passing as trans, it's sort of like winning a lottery or becoming a celebrity overnight. Or having access or gaining access to spaces and or opportunities that you were not privy to previously. As we all know, life-changing for any circumstance you get into. But once you are into that circumstance, it comes with a lot extra. It comes with a lot of people that don't know you, but want to know you based off of what you look like and or what you have. It comes with a lot of opportunities that you could be subjected to that are not simply favorable to you. It's sort of one of those things where it's like, would you really care for me and or be down for me if I didn't look the way that I do and or have the things that I have? If you're conscious enough, you start questioning everything. Who really loves you? Who's really down for you? Who's just using you? Who wants to abuse and or take advantage of you just because of how you look or what you got? And that's just one part of it.
I asked God, why am I cursed with being a bad bitch? Every day. And the message I hear is, if it's not you, then who?
Now, I know, this might get me into a little bit of flack because of who she is. And I'm just now discovering who she is myself. But if you know anything about me, a bitch like me stays ready. Now, she is a stunning young lady. Very stunning in all of her right. But she seems like the judge, the juror, and the convictor of the trans experience. And as you know, I simply cannot let that fly. I simply cannot allow someone who has to lay on an operating table to be chopped and botched in order to love themselves and or to be socially accepted in this world, to tell another individual how this trans journey is supposed to go. Please understand that a real bad bitch isn't full of that silicone, off them moans, online, running their mouth about the next trans woman and her experience. Sweetheart, you're simply a hater. Now you're going to say, how is she a hater when she's more beautiful than half the bitches that she's coming for? Let me break it down to you. True beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If you did not know that, you just learned a life lesson. Given from Inspired by Anaya, passed on down to you. It doesn't take a rocket science to know that your essence, your presence, your energy is what people really hate on. And the fact that a lot of girls, a lot of trans women, a lot of trans men, a lot of trans people wake up and decide that they are going to inspire other people, live in their authenticity, live in their truth, show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Baby, that's beautiful. Not only is that difficult, that takes strength, that takes courage, and that takes a deep love of self. Something that a lot of you do not have, because if you had it, sweetheart, number one, you wouldn't be judging the next for their own personal experience. And number two, you wouldn't have had to wait until you laid on the operating table to feel confidence and or find love within yourself. No matter what the girls push out to you, I'm here to tell you, if you have to lay on the operating table, get full of silicone, alter your features in any way, shape, and or form, just to look in a mirror and say, I'm beautiful now, it don't take a rocket science to know that you don't love yourself. You do not love the authentic version of yourself. You love the chopped, botched, socially standard, accepted version of yourself. And that's not really you. That's the version of you that society told you would be accepted in this world. And because society told you that the older version of you was not going to be accepted in this world, you altered yourself drastically. Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Also spiritually. But I'm not here to rant on anyone. I'm not here to try to change anyone's opinion on how they live their life. Sweetheart, you do what you do. But to these girls out here that are following and are believing that you have to alter yourself in order to be a bad bitch, sweetheart, understand that a real bad bitch don't need to do all of that. A real bad bitch just wakes up and look in the mirror and say, I'm a bad bitch, whether they like it or not.
It was really, really a shady time because they used to read you if you didn't look right, you know. It made you want it. Even being on the streets, it made you want it because the girls would tell you, you look late, or you're tired, or it's not good.
So let's get to the trans women that back in the day told the girls that they weren't clocky enough, that they weren't trans enough, that they just weren't fitting the bill. Because in 2025, those same trans girls that passed judgment upon the other trans girls, the younger trans girls, the trans girls that just needed love, support, and or guidance in order to make it in this world. Those same women are butched, face full of silicone, ass sitting on concrete. You got your titties and dropped down to your goddamn neighbor because you thought you was gonna be fine forever. God showed you. A lot of trans girls are disproportionate in all aspects of their lives. Physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Why? Because they're setting their standards of beauty to what society tells them. And when you set your beauty to society standards, then you lose all aspects of you, what you got going on, what God ordained for you, and which is why I always tell you, love yourself before you change yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Live for yourself before you live for anybody else. Now, I'm not politically, socially, and or universally correct in no way, shape, or form. I don't speak for all trans people. I don't speak for all gay people. I don't speak for the gay community in no way, shape, or form at all. I only speak for a non-J. And I tell you all the time, if it resonates, you let it marinate. But if not, simply do not participate. Don't embarrass yourself at my table thinking that you about to have a moment at my expense. Bitch, I'll be damned.